So back to it. The thing about mindset is, one, it really is about looking at getting into the right mindset to reflect. So the things that we were reading about in this research paper was that scientists actually found that you could enhance your ability to get into a mode of reflection and planning and deep work by increasing the amount of alpha brainwaves you have in your mind. And so a great way to actually do that is by either meditating, practicing gratitude. There's a lot of deep concentration music, and as well breathing. And so we're going to actually just take a collective deep breath in and just roll our shoulders back. So we're just going to breathe in for a moment, roll our shoulders back, and breathe out. And with that, I would love for you to write in the chat, what is one thing that you are most proud of in 2023? Just open the chat and we're going to listen to some music and just let everyone flood their answers as to what you are most proud of in the chat. Okay, we've got some beautiful shares here. I love the realizing that my work isn't my identity. That is huge. Thanks for sharing that, Mel. Learning Vedic meditation. Yes, Marta. I am a Vedic meditator. Big tick on that. Beautiful elements and shares around job, but also this element of giving ourselves permission to try new work. I love that, Des. And a lot of other awesome ones of stepping into the job that has been my goal work for many years. Danny, that's incredible. A massive congrats. And so whilst you're still sharing anything that you're proud of, the reason that we do this is because when we look forward to set goals, we want to see some of the biggest highlights that we identified in our mind of the previous year to then intentionally call in more of that into 2024. So let's dive into the future thinking, because I did some research about 2024 because I like to actually understand the world context and a theme around a year, which can help actually tailor into our planning. So we're going to look at two types of bodies of work, which is Chinese astrology and numerology. And at a very high level, 2024 actually marks the year of the dragon in 2024. That is the Chinese astrology symbol, which recognizes strength, vitality, it's good fortune. Dragons are associated with ambition, intelligence, and leadership. So this is a really good year for embracing change. And the Chinese also believe that this is actually a really great time to pursue bold endeavors for both a personal and collective growth. So there's some great themes around 2024. The other interesting one I'll share is, according to numerology, the universal year for 2024 is the number 8. It's actually my favorite number, but this actually is what numerology says, that actually what you do to create the universal number of a year is you add the numbers up. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And this is actually really important because an 8 symbolizes personal power. An 8 is a promising, recognition for achievement as well as financial reward. Whereas 2023 was a 7 year. So 7 is all about this deep internal work, some realizations, some powerful thinking, whereas 8 is an outward energy. So really looking at that infinity sign, which signifies balance. So now that we've got some themes of the year, we've got exactly what we were most proud of, we're going to begin with the end in mind. So a very, very short and prompt question is, I'd love for you to sit up tall and just take a moment to think about, what would it be if you landed in January 2025, a year from now? And I'd love for you just to find a soft gaze. You don't need to type anything, and just think about, what would you be proud of achieving in 2024? So if you landed a year from now in January next year and we were doing this reflection exercise, what comes to mind as success? Like, what would need to come into fruition for you to feel those elements? I'll give you 30 seconds just to think about it, and then we'll move on. Okay. So I hope you had some ideas about what success would look like. We've got a beautiful share in the chat from Nanisha, which is finding the right balance between pursuing a career, pursuing your true passion for life, and finding your own kind of happiness. Isn't that just the whole purpose of life? Merging career and life and happiness with the friends and family and the people you love most. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Nanisha. So now we're going to phrase these vision into our goals. So I'd love for us to really think about some actionable goals. And what we're going to do is basically a brainstorming exercise. So wherever you'd like to type, you can type them in the chat or in a personal notebook. I'd like you to write as many goals down that you'd like to achieve this year and label them either personal or professional. And so you can do this for yourself, you can do this for your career, but I'd love for you to just get as many ideas as you can out onto the page, and you can share them in a couple in the chat as well if you like. So personal could be, I'd like to feel energetically fulfilled. A professional goal could be, I'd like to land a new job by June 2024. So we're just doing a big brainstorming exercise, and I'll give you about a minute for this. Okay, we're going to continue this exercise, and I'd like you to now circle the two most important goals, one professional and one personal. We'll have another 2 minutes for this. So circle the 2 most important goals, one personal and one professional, and ask yourself, if you got to the end of the year and you only did these 2 things and it would equal a really worthwhile and fulfilling year, these would be the 2 focuses. So just circle 2, and then I would love for you to share them in the chat. We'll take 2 minutes. Okay, we've got 30 seconds left, and share your 2 goals in the chat. Just finishing anything up. I could just get lost in that guitar music all day. God, I love it. All right. If you have shared some of your goals in the chat, I would love to hear from 2 people. Would anyone like to share a bit more about the goals that they've shared in the chat? Feel free to raise your hand, or feel free just to come on mute. I'll give some space for someone to share.
I'll be brave if no one else is going to jump in.
Annie?
Hi, Paz. Happy New Year, everyone. I think for me, 2024 is a year of refunding for LaunchFic, but what I really want to do is make sure that things are just really set up and supercharged, that if I'm not here for after that happens, that things are in a really great place for regional entrepreneurs to connect with other regional leaders. So that's some exciting stuff that I'm working on in the next 6 months to hopefully have that happen and leave that as a bit of a legacy. Personal boulders, 2023 was a bit of a shit year behind the scenes. And I didn't finish the year in a way that I wanted to last year. So this year for me is just I've had some time to reflect, and now putting some plans in place to make a bit more of a holistic result.
I love that, Danny. I also love this leave a legacy type ambition. You've already done that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've already done that. But yeah, you can. I can definitely see that personal boulders element. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And Abby, let's hear from you.
Yeah, sure. So last year was a year of like really solidifying what is the community and what does it mean to those who are part of the membership. And I think for me to be able to build something where it can operate without me, I can add value, but it's its own ecosystem where if I step back It's kind of what I remember from the Community Collective event way back when we were talking about the bus theory, that you could get hit by a bus today and the community would still continue tomorrow. And I actually finally saw that I was like, okay, I've actually set it up so I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. And my equivalent of getting hit by a bus was finding out I was pregnant. So I am due in May this year, and it's kind of interesting how the timing all kind of laid out, because I suddenly was like, I had this like crystallization where I was like, I've got it, I've nailed it. And then 2 weeks later, I got the positive pregnancy test, and I was like, well, the timing is nice. So now that I've got that, really building a JD and finding someone who can work underneath me. But I'm looking at setting up extra chapters. The community that I've got is a bit different to some others, where it's a cap of 150, but I'll be setting up chapters in other hemispheres, and I have people interested in other hemispheres to set up. So finding someone who not only do I trust and the community loves, but who could be a successor, so I can enjoy 5 months of maternity leave, and I can also think about what does the next chapter look like, so we can build that around. So those are my two focuses, the hire and the maternity leave.
So many new chapters. Oh, Abby, that's so exciting. How are you feeling about finding someone?
Well, I feel great because I've got the Community Collective and the amazing offering that you have around recruitment. So I'm excited to collaborate with you on this, Paz, because obviously you helped me find my part-time role with One Roof, and that just gave so much to me, having a part-time community role with people that I admire. I've learned so much with One Roof, and I'll maintain that. And I'm actually able to claim my parental leave through them, which is handy as well. So I actually want to hold on to it, and just knowing the amazing collective that sits within this space, who understands it and gets it. And yes, I'm very excited to collaborate with the Community Collective on that recruitment piece.
Oh, cool. Oh, I love that. Yeah, definitely send us the role when it's live. I'll be more than happy to help. Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you all for sharing. And yeah, so cool to read as many goals as there are in the chat as well. So we're coming to the second last element of this workshop, as our fast and tasty one will go. And so the two elements that you have just written down, I'd like you to think of these as your North Stars. A North Star is a phenomenal framework to really anchor you throughout the year. So consider this your personal North Star and your professional North Star, and keep this in your back pocket for when things get tough. You're trying to make decisions. It ends up in June. We're like, what was our North Star? Come back to these as your beating heart. Yes, I'm sure there's other 10, 20, maybe 4 other goals that you'd like to achieve, but just keep these as your 2 priorities to really guide you through the year. And another thing to guide you through the year, we're going to do another quick exercise, which is I'd love for you to think of 2 words which would describe your 2024 to remind you of these North Star goals. You might already have your word. I'd love you to think of an extra word. The reason behind 2 words instead of 1 is that the second word should emphasize the importance of the first word, or just throw that out the bin. Don't complicate it. Just pick 2 words you love. So I'd love for you to post your 2 words in the chat. If you are struggling to think of anything, it could be ambition. It could be less, maybe we need less of things and to focus on something else. It could be audacious, energy, difference in the world. Maybe you want to take a risk this year. Wealth. Maybe we need some financial wealth, some wealth in our relationships, some wealth in our health. It doesn't just have to be money. Harmony. Maybe we need a bit more balance. Time, change. The last 2, it could be growth or impact. But forget the things that I've thought about. Look at your ones. Oh, Danielle, balance and magic. That is beautiful. Fulfillment and joy. Marta, would you be happy to share more about why you chose those 2 words?
Yeah, I guess I'm doing a bit of a soul searching now. And it's just, that vision of life came to mind. So I've been doing a lot of different sort of spiritual courses, like awakening your Kundalini energy, and it kind of made me discover that my kind of main thing in life is to follow joy and what brings me satisfaction and that fulfillment that I'm chasing, that I haven't been able to actually yet discover in any of my roles. So it's just, yeah, creating that dream life.
I love that, Marta. Yeah, that's beautiful, and hopefully you already have elements of your dream life that you can then just build upon step by step. Stunning. Well, we're going to keep moving on, and so now we have our 2 North Star goals, which were a result of the vision that we thought about, and now we have our 2 words. We're now going to dive into the last section of this, which is thinking about, drum roll. Does Butter have a drum roll? Let's see. This is a drum. Oh, not the kind of drum. Anyway, well, this is a habits section. So, in the words of James Clear, phenomenal author of Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Because if you didn't know, only 92% of New Year's resolutions fail. Actually, a shockingly 92% of New Year's resolutions fail. That is wild. This basically is a statistic of the people that set New Year's resolutions do not become successful. That means that only 8% are actually going to succeed. And I'd love to see ourselves in this 8%. It's an 8 year. If there was a better year to defy the odds, it is definitely this year. And so we are going to do that with habits. And so I'd love for you to think about what 4 habits will you focus on this year. We're going to have 2 minutes to think about this, and I'd love for you to share them in the chat. And so these habits could be, for example, if I want to feel more energetically fulfilled, I'd like to meditate every day, twice a day, 20 minutes each. Another habit that I'm doing this year is 20 push-ups every morning. Another habit is trying to go to bed before 9 p.m. Another habit I have is to also reflect on the week prior every Monday morning. So I'd love you to write a couple habits in the chat. got some fabulous habits here. Danny, I love this. Saying no. I hope that your North Stars will help you say no and say yes to exactly what you're thinking about. Daily songwriting, Tao. That is fabulous. What time of day are you going to do that, Tao?
I think either morning after I go for a walk or when I first wake up. So not checking my phone, just writing maybe something I've dreamt about. Yeah, things like that. So in the morning.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing everyone's habits. If you're still writing them down, roll on. We're going to extend this session for an extra 5 minutes with the tech difficulties that we had. So we're going to run from 12:45 to 12:50 p.m. So if anyone would like to stay on for the extra bonus 5 minutes, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, if you've got to run exactly on time, you're more than welcome to do that and catch up on the recording. But if you're going to stay for the OG after party, that means we are making it to pretty much the last kind of wrap up of this workshop, because now what you should have is the 2024 North Stars. So you'll have your 2 North Star goals. This is your driving personal goal of how you want to feel. For me, that is, I want to feel energetically fulfilled by December 2024, not exhausted. You'll have your North Star professional goal. You know, that really is in your career, your ambitions for your community. For me, that is to launch a new podcast for the Community Collective by September 2024 to actually give more voices from an Australian perspective about community building. You'll have your 2 words for the year, which are your reminding principles to keep you on track for your North Stars. Mine is focus and serve. And now you have your 4 habits, which are keeping you accountable on a daily basis to set yourself up for success in achieving what you're setting out to do. You know, these habits will be the backbone when shit hits the fan and life gets tough. These are the things that you can keep coming back to as your North Stars, because your habits are actually how you actually show up in the year. If you are just thinking, how can I be 1% better today? You know, if you do that for 100 days, you will be 100% better. So don't go setting 10,000 goals and 20 habits that you want to change. Think about what you're doing well, refine, pick a couple things and make this your focus. Because if there's anything to do this for the year, it is to have 2 North Stars, 2 words and 4 habits, which equals 2024. So I'm going to pause there after all of our reflection and planning. I've got some resources and some articles to share with you and some templates in a moment. But I'd just like to see, does anyone have any questions or comments on the exercises that we've just done? If you have a question, you can click I have a question. And if you don't, just put your thumbs up and we'll roll on to the resources. So thumbs up, double thumbs up. Okay. All right, let's jump into the last part. So for our accountability and resources, to help you put this into practice, I'd like to share with you 8 different resources to help you on your way. And so basically these are various tools that you can use throughout your year. And yes, we will have some tips for tracking on progress, Nanisha. I'll come to that. But the first one to think about is a vision board. I used to roll my eyes and gag at vision boards, and then I actually did one and realized how freaking amazing they are, because I set it as my desktop screensaver, which now reminds me on a daily basis as to what the hell I actually set out to do. So we've got a vision board template in the chat that Sanchi just shared there that you can use, and you can create a vision board, set it as your desktop saver with your 2 words and your 2 North Star goals to remind you on a daily basis. You can use your calendar. Something that I do is I put a weekly reoccurring reminder in my calendar every Monday, which basically is a reminder for me to plan and reflect based on the goals that I set. Now, this is a business strategy for the CC. And so basically this reminds me every Monday what the hell we're trying to achieve in the business. And then I'll set my 3 actions for the week. So this is a really easy, simple thing. You just set up a reoccurring Monday calendar invite. For example, we have an annual community calendar template that you can use. All the links, we'll share them in the email as well if you miss them. And so this is a way for you to actually plan out the activities that are happening in a professional sense. So you could use this in your business, in your community, and you can update this template to actually look at what you're going to commit to. I'd also recommend having down seasons and off seasons. So for example, we don't run any events in June and July and December every single year to give our team those breaks in between delivering. Have a look at doing a mid-year check-in. You can catch up with someone else. I've actually put a calendar invite for, I think it's June 2024, the 4th of June, to check in on these goals. If you'd like to be invited to that, we could actually do a check-in together for half an hour. If you want to do that live, just put a yes in the chat and I'll send you this calendar invite and we can check in mid-year on where we're at with all of this work that we've just done. And I'd encourage you to also see if anyone else would want to check in with you on something else. Okay, all right, we've got some yes. All right, I'll send you a calendar invite. We can check in June 2024 and just have a general chat. This won't be a public event. It'll just be for anyone here. So, oh, wow. Okay, we've got a party going. All right, we can do that mid-year. I will send you the calendar invites. It'll just be us jumping on a call, no judgment zone, to see how we're going. Elephants, don't go and steal some elephant animals, but this is a tactic by picking someone that you actually catch up with on a regular basis. We'll share a full article about this elephant's philosophy and framework, but at a high level, it basically says, find your elephant. Find your trustworthy, slow and gentle human in your life that you can check in with about these goals, share them with them, and then check in with them on a regular basis. Some templates. We have some templates in the chat here. There is a further goal setting workshop template, a Google Doc that we have written out for you that you can actually duplicate and go deeper on some of these questions if you want to go further. And as well, we've got an article that we've written up about how to conduct a yearly review and plan the year ahead as well. The last couple things is we have a recording from last year, which is how to plan for your community, which takes you through the template that we shared. So you can find the recording link for diving into actual planning for your community, not just yourself. And the last thing is our community cohort. And so if you have specific goals that you'd like to achieve in a professional sense about community building, public speaking, strategy design, or operations, we're running 2 cohorts this year, which really are designed to actually help community builders achieve their personal goals. We have a lot of cohort alumni. Let's add a reaction if you're a cohort alumni in this room. I see a lot of familiar faces. But yeah, we would love to welcome you in. And we actually have a cohort crew buddy matching system, which actually matches you with fellow elephants. I'm going to end on this quote, which is a reminder that if you improve 1% per day, then in 100 days, you will have 100%, you will be 100% better. And Ken Carter shared this, and it was such a great reminder that we don't have to do it all. You can have everything that you want in your life, just not all at once. So thank you. That brings us to the end of our workshop. I had a lot of fun consciously designing this workshop over the last couple of weeks. A lot of journaling went into this, reading your intentions in the registration process. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for going through the tech roller coaster. Of course, our first event back of the year, we get booted off and closed down on the butter room. Oh, that was hilarious. So thank you for riding the wave with us. Thank you to Sanchi for being our tech master, Tao, our marketing leaders here as well, and Enos who ran the check-in. And just as a reminder, if you have feedback on this workshop, this is actually our second last meetup that we're running for our free meetup community. If you didn't hear the announcement, we sent an email out a month ago about the announcement that we are closing our free meetup community as of February 2024. So this will be the second last meetup of our entire free meetup community. We've written an entire article about why we closed that, so we'll link that in the chat for you. But if you have feedback on this particular session, you can share that in the chat, and we will have our next meetup coming up as well next week. So it is Community Manager Appreciation Day on Monday. We get a whole global day, and our members have organised dinners and breakfasts in Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Auckland and Perth. So we'll email you the resource list and the dinners invites, because I know there's a lot going on in the chat. So if you want to join these in person, get down. I think Melbourne and Sydney are sold out, but there's still spots for Brisbane, Perth and Auckland. And we'll have our last meetup next Thursday. So this will be a ceremonial community closing. Melia Ajala, our co-founders and advisors, are joining us. And we'll basically be sharing why we are closing our free meetup community. We want to walk you through the process that we took to close a community, the process that we're taking to basically host this sunset, and then why we're doing it and what will be on the horizon for 2024. So yeah, I'm really pumped to share that. A lot of mixed feelings, but I'm really excited to basically launch a new version of a free community, but in a very, very different way. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for being here, everyone. If you have any questions, I'll hang back after this track. But yeah, good luck with all your goals. I'll send you the invites for the mid-year check-in, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye, everyone. See ya.
Of your love's like the warmth from the sun, and this will be our year. Took a long time to come. Don't let go of my hand now, the darkness has gone. This will be our year. Took a long time to come, and I won't forget the way you held me up when I was down, and I won't forget the way you said, darling, I love you. You gave me faith to go on. This will be our year, took a long time to come. The warmth of your smile, smile for me, little one. And this will be our year, took a long time to come. You don't have to worry, all your worry days are gone. Down, and I won't forget the way you said, darling, I love you. You gave me faith to go on. Now we're there, and we've only just begun. This will be our year. Took a long time to come, and this will be our year. Took a long time to